All right, so it's 8:30 in the morning and I just woke up and this is the as requested by Bernadette how to make sourdough video, the beginning of it. So the first thing to do is I have my sourdough starter here. It's been in the fridge, I think for about a week because you can just keep it in the fridge once it's like growing and living and just feed it like one time a week. So I'm gonna feed it now so that I can use it to make bread a couple hours from now because when you bake with it, it has to be like risen and fluffy and well fed and loved. So I'm gonna feed it now at 8:30 and then I'll probably get back to you maybe at 11:30 or noon to see. Yeah, so it's at like this level now. And before I bake with it, I'll want it to rise like double after I feed it. Yeah, so I'll get back to you in a couple hours and show you how that's looking and then we can start the bread. Okay, so I'm back. Now it's actually 2 p.m. because I fell asleep and then I took a shower. But I'm living my best life and I have the sourdough starter right here and it's risen a lot, like to the top of the dashed line. It's like a full jar full. And that's good. That's what we need. That's what we like. It's got a lot of bubbles in it and good stuff. So now I'm going to make the dough and put it together for its first rise. So basically the recipe that I kind of Frankensteined, because all the recipes online use scales and I don't have a scale and I barely have measuring cups. So the recipe that I came up with that I had success with one time before was about 1/3 cup starter, 2 cups of flour, 3/4 cups warm water, and like a teaspoon of salt. And so I'm gonna mix that together and yeah, I'll get back to you. Okay, so right here I have the starter in this bowl and this is about 1/3 cup. And the rest of it, I'm just gonna keep in the fridge. I don't think I'm gonna feed it till I need it next to make bread. So I'm just gonna cover it and put it in the fridge and it'll be happy there. Okay, so we have starter, we have warm water, and we have, where's my salt? Ah, here it is. I measured it all out and put it in the line because that's what the French do. That's what they taught me when I was in culinary school in Paris. Okay, so you have your starter and your water and you mix it. I dropped my spoon into the mixture because I'm a fool, but that's okay. Okay, so starter and water and salt are mixed together and then I'm gonna add in my 2 cups of flour and I'm just gonna stir this until it's combined and has no dry spots left. This recipe has no kneading. It does, you stretch and fold it every half hour. So I try to not overmix it because then it'll get like tough and weird. So I'm just gonna stir this up till it has no more like really wet soggy bits or really dry bits. Okay, so my dough's all mixed up. It looks like this. It was pretty sticky there at the end, but I just squished it around with my hands and powered through. This is a pretty sticky bread dough. Like it should be, I don't know, kind of wet. Yeah, so I'm gonna let this sit. I'll probably cover it with like a towel or something so it doesn't dry out. Maybe for an hour. Ideally till it rises a little bit, but that didn't happen last time. So I'm gonna let it sit for an hour and then we're gonna see what happens after that. Okay, so it's a little after 3 now. The dough looks pretty much the same, but it looked the same last time and it worked out. So if it doesn't rise, don't freak out. It'll probably be okay. So now we're gonna do the first round of stretch and folds, which is what gives sourdough its like chewiness, and it's what develops the gluten instead of kneading it. I don't know why we don't need it, but we don't. So I got I don't know if I can do this with one hand. I might have to give up and set the thing down. But basically you lift up the far side and you pull it over and you fold it over like maybe 8 times. Yeah, this is not a one-handed thing, but maybe 8 times or until it gets too hard to stretch anymore. And then we're gonna let it rest for half an hour and do this again a total of 4 times. So yeah, I'll be back, I guess, for the next round of stretch and folds. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it to film all of them, but I might, who knows? All right. Okay, so I finished all 4 sets of stretch and folds and here's my dough. He's pretty happy. Now it's, wait, what time even is it? I've got my watch here. It is, wait, is this even on the right time? Okay, it's 5:02. I think that's correct. I'm pretty sure it's 5:02-ish. I have no real clock anywhere, so we're gonna roll with that. Yeah, so my dough is happy, and now I'm going to let it rise. I think for an hour-ish. I lost the instructions, but this is what I did last time. Also, I just realized that last time I did this, I used bread flour, and this time I used normal flour. It worked with bread flour, so we're gonna see how it does with normal flour. Yeah, so I'm gonna let it chill for about an hour, and then we're gonna shape it, let it proof for half an hour, and bake it. So I'll be back in an hour to show you how to shape it. Okay, so now it's 6 p.m. and the bread dough has been resting and it looks pretty happy. Oh, it's very sticky, wow. And so I'm going to shape it into its loaf shape, but first I'm gonna get my hands wet because when they're wet, it won't stick to the dough. Okay, so the way, yeah, maybe there's no good way to do this one-handed. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna set the camera, all right, yeah, I'll get back to you. Okay, here, I think this works. Okay, so I'm gonna shape the bread dough. All right, so it's this nice little loaf kind of creature, all right? So here's what I do. I just turn it like this so that, yeah, maybe you just have to watch this. Basically, I'm like stretching the top and folding it into itself underneath. So the top gets really like tight and taut, but the bottom is like a little seam. And so it ends up nice and round. And I'm trying to not crush it too much because that'll squish the air bubbles out. And then it won't be as fluffy at the end of the day. Yeah, so it's like this. Yeah, so this is feeling pretty good. And so I just like pinch the seam on the bottom and then maybe do that one more time and pinch the seam on the bottom the other way so it all stays together. Okay, yeah, so the top looks like this, very round. The bottom is like kind of parts squished together. And yeah, so I'm gonna let this proof for half an hour in a bowl that's like roughly the size of the thing. I'm gonna put some flour in this so it doesn't stick. Yeah, so I'm gonna let it proof for half an hour and I will show you what my oven situation looks like and how to preheat the oven in a second. Okay, so my bread dough is happily proofing in this bowl with a slightly damp thing on it so it doesn't dry out. And it's exactly 6 o'clock. So we're gonna let that do its thing for half an hour. And in the meantime, I'm gonna preheat this. This is my Dutch oven. It has a lid. It's not really a Dutch oven. It's a pot. It's like a saucepan that I took the plastic handle off and I took the plastic lid off the top because I don't really have a Dutch oven. But if you want it to be super crispy, you kind of need a Dutch oven because it like traps the steam and does good things. So I'm gonna put this in the oven and preheat it to 460 degrees. And by the time it's warm, the bread will be done proofing and we can finally bake it. Yay! Okay, so it's been half an hour and my bread is done proofing and my Dutch oven is the hottest thing in existence. So I'm going to do my careful best to flip this. Bam. Oh man, it's super crooked and it's super hot. All right, well, it's gonna be a slightly weird shape because I squished it, but that's okay. And we're gonna cut a thing across the top so that it has a place to split open when it rises. Then we're gonna put the lid on and put it in the oven. And we're gonna bake it for half an hour with the lid on and then half an hour with the lid off. So it'll get crispy, but then it'll also turn brown. And yeah, that's about that. Okay, this is what my bread looks like after half an hour. I took the lid off. This is very hot, so I'm gonna close it. All right, I took my bread out of the oven and I let it cool. I think I took it out like 4 minutes sooner than the timer said, but isn't it beautiful? It's so handsome. And now we just have to hope that it's good and nice on the inside too. So let me find, where's my very sharp, this is my most sharpest knife. I probably can't do this one-handed, huh? All right, I'm gonna cut the bread. This is the moment of truth. Also, it's midnight, and you may remember that the bread saga began at 8 o'clock in the morning? 9 o'clock in the morning? Let's see. We hope that it's good. It sounds really nice. Please, please, please be nice on the inside. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty solid. I could roll with that. Definitely bread. Totally smells like sourdough bread and is, in fact, bread. So, yeah, let this be a lesson to you. And thank you for joining me on this journey of self-discovery. I'm gonna make tea and put butter and jam on my bread and clean my kitchen and have a great life. Yeah, I love you all. Like, follow, subscribe.